Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Tenaglia, can you please give me an example within the past year when your office has provided oversight on contractors who are overcharging for their services and equipment?
Yes, so the role of our office is to help contracting officers throughout the department with the policies that we issue. And so one example would be the reviews we conduct advising contracting officers about individual negotiations. Each of those negotiations involve contractors submitting proposals. Some of those proposals may indicate overvalue, and some of that's subject to negotiation. The Congress has provided us some safeguards for sole source contracts so that we have...
So you are providing regular oversight. Just a few years ago, it was determined, and I apologize if this has been brought up already today, but it was determined that contractors were charging the United States Air Force $1,280 for a cup of coffee.
I'm not familiar with that particular example.
So, but is there oversight being conducted to ensure that we're not paying $1,280 for a cup of coffee?
The oversight that my office conducts primarily relates to the largest transactions, anything that's valued over $1 billion for negotiation.
So something like that could be overlooked. There's not an in-depth office. There's not an in-depth search in your office for small dollar items that cost.
We do have some safeguards in place. For example, with the government purchase card program, we have the ability to identify fraud, waste, and abuse. But throughout the department, we have a number of different buying activities, and each one of those have leadership and warranted contracting officers who are empowered to make sure that they're getting the best deal for the taxpayer.
So, Mr. What steps are you taking to ensure that companies that the DoD is contracting with are providing their best warfighting capabilities at a reasonable cost to the taxpayer? So, you know, we don't have a $1,200 cup of coffee. So, what are you doing to ensure that doesn't happen?
The best thing that we can do is promote competition, and competition gets us the best pricing possible. But in many cases, we have fielded weapon systems for which we have negotiations with sole source contractors, and we have safeguards to make sure we're paying the fair price.
So look, is it your determination that there is no fraud, waste, and abuse by contractors in the DoD in terms of materials and capabilities received?
Where there is fraud, waste, and abuse, we have mechanisms such as the Defense Contract Management Agency has an organization responsible for rooting out that. The DoDIG has a whistleblower program, and so we have the means to identify fraud, waste, and abuse.
Did any of your whistleblowers ever get indicted?
I am not aware of that.
I would hope the whistleblowers themselves do not get indicted, but the individuals that are blowing the whistle on. I apologize.
I see. No, thank you, Mr. Mansfield. Have you determined that any of the sole source of manufacturers of the systems that we're providing to Ukraine are making exorbitant profits via price gouging? And if so, what percentage of profit are they making? And if you've looked into this Ukrainian spending?
So a significant amount of the Ukrainian security assistance has been executed using a technique we call undefinitized contract action. And so we've deferred the negotiation of the price for that, and so we don't yet know what the definitized price or profitability will be, but we have no information that will indicate any kind of price gouging.
I sure hope that you get that information. I would like that to be given to me personally because in 2015, the Pentagon ordered a review and Army negotiators discovered one company and its subcontractor company were grossly overcharging the Pentagon and U.S. allies by hundreds of millions of dollars for the Patriot's PAC-3 missiles. Pentagon analysis found the total profits approached 40%. The standard, as you know, is anywhere from 12 to 15%. This is only one of the examples that I know about. How many other examples of this corrupt practice will come to light as we continue to send Ukraine more weapons at the taxpayers' expense? Our service members are lacking the resources they need in exchange for the CEO of a defense contractor's new private jet. So China is clearly it's a pacing threat. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes. Undersecretary Colin call, he said that the top priority for the department is getting China right. Secretary of Defense Austin has described China as America's pacing threat. It means that China is the only country that can pose a systematic challenge to the United States in the sense of challenging us economically, technologically, politically, and militarily. Now, my time has expired. If I may, do you just consider the current contracting process limited to the small number of prime contractors sufficient to meet the rapid technological requirements that the threat picture poses by our adversaries?
So the defense industrial base we have is producing weapon systems that our warfighters are using. If we have more competition, that will be better.
Thank you. I appreciate you all for being here, Mr. Chairman. I yield.
Thank you very much.